Hey Parkside, welcome to this week's encouragement video. Thank you for tuning in. I want to continue this week a theme we started last week with just sharing a little bit more of encouragement from the book of Exodus, because there's so much in this rich narrative, this story, that sometimes just gets cut out of the sermon for time considerations. I want to think about Exodus chapter 2. Moses flees from Egypt. He sits down by this well, and there's a priest in Midian whose daughters come to the well, and Moses ends up saving them, and he ends up marrying into this guy's family. And think with me, it was a Midianite priest who ends up being Moses' father-in-law, and a huge gift in God's providence to the development of Moses as the leader of God's people. Now, who had it on their bingo card that a Midianite priest would be a God-fearer and the guy that God uses in amazing ways in Moses' life and development? That's not how I would have predicted it. You know what's really interesting? You go back to the book of Genesis, and the Ishmaelites and the Midianites are often spoken of interchangeably. So it's Ishmaelite or Midianite traders that end up buying Joseph and then selling him into Egypt. Who had it on their bingo card that there would be Midianite slave traders that are the ones used by God in an amazing way to deliver Joseph and save the entire Israelite people? Boy, that wasn't me. And God certainly is not endorsing evil or wickedness that comes in any of those things. He's not saying that at all. But God is in the business of using people that we just wouldn't think of as the main ones to be used by him. I think it's amazing to see that in Moses' life and in Joseph's life, where there's people in our lives, like sometimes it's even us, where I'm like, yeah, look, God might use me in some ways, but not in those ways. Like there's somebody else over there. God's going to use them as the evangelist. He's not going to use me to take that step. Or God's going to use them as the discipler of these children. That's not how God's going to necessarily use me. Or God's going to use that person with that job as a big giver who's really going to see the kingdom of God go forward. And listen to me, guys. God is in the business of using people that we didn't expect to be used in mighty ways. And that means there is good news for you, that God can and will use you in ways you don't expect. There is good news for that neighbor or that coworker or that family member where you're like, I don't know, that feels like just not the person God is going to use. I wonder if you would just think of one person in your life right now. Like, I don't think that's the person God's going to use. You just open your hands up to the Lord. And would you take time right now to start praying for them? That you would have an open mind to see that God is using this Midianite priest in Exodus, these Midianite slave traders in Genesis, and certainly all kinds of people from all over the Bible and all over the world in amazing ways. But that's pretty encouraging to me of what could happen even this afternoon or this evening in my life and in yours too, and I hope it is for you. Hey, this Sunday we're going to be back in Exodus 3. We're going to read Exodus 3, 1 through 4:17 and see some key things coming together. One of these major themes we have not really unpacked yet in Exodus, but we will this Sunday and many to come, is the idea of fear. So maybe you read Exodus 1 through 4 and just start looking at this emerging theme of fear that comes up and certainly gets more dominant in chapters 3 and 4 and will throughout. It's going to be a major thing. I look forward to drawing it out with you on Sunday. Parks, I hope you have a great week. Look forward to seeing you this Sunday, and may everything you do be filled with the gospel and empowered by the gospel so that glory comes to Christ this week. I love you. See you Sunday.